Oh, champ. It looks like not only is UMG getting sued by Drake, but Kendrick Lamar is also getting sued, but it's not by Drake, and it's for another Drake diss track. And there's a bunch of people who are now breaking their silence on the Kendrick and Drake beef who we have not heard speak on it ever. I want y'all to hit the like button. I want y'all to share the video. We're going to get into it, but first we do have to hit that theme music. Salute to the chat. Oh, champ.
Come on, man. I ain't got time for that love shit. Get out of here. Niggas know me, man. I make a movie out of. Come on. I make a movie out of. I come through, man. Niggas change up. I make a movie out of. I'm crazy when I ain't around there. I make a movie niggas know niggas wanna front. I make a movie out of. I leave him flat on his face with shit oozing out of. Niggas wanna stunt. I know what to do about him. Hit me again. I make an action-packed movie out of. Niggas wanna front. I make a movie out. I leave him flat on his face with shit oozing out of. Niggas wanna stunt. I know what to do about him. Hit me that guy. I make an action-packed movie out of. We by the ball with the Chris. Gorillas in the mist. You motherfuckers try to front. I go bananas with the clips. Got a hollow tip habit. I bulletproof the whips. My tires run on flats. You know I stay with gas. I hit the stash. Pop out the Mac. Try and pop out your back. More than sweat. I pop out your rack. Come on, man. I ain't got time for that love shit. Get out of here. Niggas know me, man. I make a movie out of. Come on. I make a movie out of. I come through, man. Niggas change up. I make a movie out of. Talk crazy when I ain't around there. I make a movie niggas know niggas wanna front. I make a movie out of. I leave him flat on his face with shit oozing out of. Niggas wanna stunt. I know what to do about him. Hit me again. I make an action-packed movie out of. Niggas wanna front. I make a movie out of. I leave him flat on his face with shit oozing out of. Niggas wanna stunt. I know what to do about him. Hit me that guy. I make an action-packed movie out of. We by the ball with the Chris. Gorillas in the mist. You motherfuckers try to front. I go bananas with the clips. Got a hollow tip habit. I bulletproof the whips. My tires run on flats. You know I stay with gas. I hit the stash. Pop out the Mac. Try and pop out your back. More than sweat. I pop out your rack. Man, I'm the super bitch. You give super head. I make you super rich. I make stupid rich. I know lots of tricks. Type niggas that don't think and follow they dick. What more can I say? It's a beautiful day. Your vest ain't gon' work if you hit with the K. Spray when it's spray. You're not in the way. You running, you pussy, you scared of me. Niggas wanna front. I make a movie out of. I leave him flat on his face with shit oozing out of. Niggas wanna stunt. I know what to do about him. Hit me again. I make an action-packed movie out of. Niggas wanna front. I make a movie out of. I leave him flat on his face with shit oozing out of. Niggas wanna stunt. I know what to do about him. Hit me that guy. I make an action-packed movie out of. Son, look at this nigga, son.
Push the goddamn button! Push the goddamn button! Yeah!
It's the mayor. Welcome to Showface News. You call me what you want, just don't call me woke. And you're now rocking with the town favorite Showface News. It's Big Gotham. And you already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. Make sure you hit the like, make sure you share the video, gang. It's a lot going on that people are not talking about, so the man will talk about it. First and foremost, gang, UMG is talking incredibly crazy to Drake and are demanding him to dismiss this lawsuit after they filed a motion to dismiss this lawsuit yesterday. Yeah, champ, last night it dropped. Right, I'm gonna just show y'all a few things that UMG is saying that is very alarming and should be alarming to Drake. And here's where we gonna start. All right, I'm gonna read this because I know y'all can't see it, but here's what UMG is saying to Drake, and this is crazy, by the way. This says there are some things that we've seen and heard about over the years. It's kind of wild that this has been in the atmosphere for some time, but no one has previously called out Drake in this way. When Millie Bobby Brown was 13, she met Drake at a concert. He was 30 or 31 at the time. She said they would text a lot in interviews and that they maintained this friendship where he would give her advice about boys and stuff like that. This was spoken about in interviews. RJN example, J at 3, allegations of Drake having inappropriate sexual relationships with minors is a topic Drake has had to debunk in the past. Not Like Us reflects these rumors surrounding Drake's personal life. right? So going back to this Millie Bobby Brown situation, right? They're talking about situations where Drake was accused of things. We also seen that Drake made mention of it in For All the Dogs on a song called Another Late Night with Lil Yachty, where Drake says mentioned Millie Bobby and we get to really flocking. And then he says something about ASAP Rocky and Rihanna after the fact. But he's been talking about it anyway himself, right? But then it gets kind of even more crazy, right? It kind of gets even more crazy. So they say Not Like Us is a massive commercial and artistic success. Lamar is widely perceived to have won the rap feud. Ultimately, I do think Kendrick did come out on the superior end of the quarrel. We can say Kendrick has won. Not Like Us has been a massive commercial and artistic success. It was the best-selling rap song of 2024, and Rolling Stone deemed it Rolling Stone deemed it the biggest moment in music this year. The song, recording, and video of Not Like Us were collectively nominated for 5 Grammy Awards as voted on by over 13,000 music industry peers, including Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Rap Performance, Best Rap Song, and Best Music Video, and won in all 5 categories. Lamar performed a live version of Not Like Us at the February 9th, 2025 Super Bowl halftime show to a record audience. Here's the argument. Legal standard. A complaint must plead enough facts to state a claim to relief that is plausible on its face. The court can credit only well-pleaded, non-conclusory factual allegations. In certain circumstances, the court may permissibly consider documents other than the complaint in ruling on a motion under Rule 12b, including documents incorporated into the complaint by reference and matters of which court may take judicial notice, including the fact that press coverage contains certain information. In particular, courts will take judicial notice of documents that Drake attends that the decision not to include the word Geppetto in Lamar's Super Bowl performance could only reflect the language in defamatory, but if he ignores any number of other complaints for the decision, such as threats by Drake of additional meritless litigation. Sorry, gang, that was a lot to read. Listen, man. All I'm gonna say is this. What I'm gonna say is, listen, man. Drake need to drop the lawsuit. It's that simple, man. Drake need to drop the lawsuit, bro. Because I feel like UMG got something that could really tarnish Drake's image in the public light. I'm gonna just say that. Whatever UMG got under their sleeves is very damaging to Drake. If he thought that him being called a Geppetto was damaging, could you imagine what UMG has up their sleeves that can be equally damaging, if not more damaging than what Kendrick did on record? Listen, it's a rap battle. Period. It's a rap battle. You know, people are gonna say things. I told y'all yesterday on my other stream that look, Daz Dillinger told Corrupt when they battled that he was a Geppetto multiple times. Okay? And these are actual facts. Because Death Row made all of the Corrupt situations when Corrupt did weird things with minors go away. Facts. I've been told this story multiple times. So if this is the type of argument you're trying to bring, well, UMG just gonna prove that you're a Geppetto, bro. Like, it ain't nothing to bring evidence to court, because court is based on evidence, not emotions. You can't bring your emotions to the table because you're mad that something happened, thinking that the court is going to side with you just because you're mad. No, that's not how this works. You're going to have to show solid evidence to prove that, this, was something so damaging or that it ruined you. Like, and the court don't care if it ruined your reputation because you gave the invite to do so. You know what I'm saying? You gave the invite to do so. Crazy enough, right? Smash with the like button, share the video. Listen, man, we got even more content. We got even more stuff, right? So here's what's crazy. Kendrick Lamar is getting sued. Did you know that? Kendrick Lamar is getting sued. Rodney O is suing Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar over like that royalties, and these are facts. Why is he doing that? Well, apparently they did not clear the sample. Now this is mainly Metro Boomin and Future's fault because this is their project, this is their album, right? So because of that, here we are. Rodney O is actually a singer who is on the original sample for Like That, because the Like That sample is like some type of soul song or something like that. But here's what Rodney O had to say about this, champ. This is what he's saying. Bring up these likes, TMZ.
Say, I was cool with Drake.
Hold on. Let's take it from the top. We're gonna take it from the top. This is Rodney O, champs. This is what he said.
Would want Kendrick on their song. I understand that, but say I was cool with Drake. Give me that option to say yay or nay. My rights manager, Nicole Key, told me from the beginning something's not right. They just dropped the ball and not giving us any type of respect, man. And that's cold to do that to old school artists, man. You know, they came to me. I didn't go to them. I didn't tell them to use my record. They came to me. So to come to me, take my record, make all this money, out on tours, do this and that, and act like we're not a part of it, even left me off the Grammy nomination. How can you do that? You know what I mean? So just no respect at all. And that's how a lot.
So yeah. So like I told y'all, that's Rodney O. So Rodney O made a song with Joey Cooley called Everlasting Bass. If you look up Everlasting Bass, it's pretty much where the Like That sample is coming from. This guy is saying, hey, y'all didn't get my permission to do it. Y'all got a Grammy nomination for this song. I didn't get any type of proceeds from this. I'm suing y'all. Apparently he's cool with Drake too, which I don't get why that even matters. Why does you being cool with Drake got anything to do with anything? I don't know. I'm gonna run it back one more time though for y'all. Smash the like, shit, a video game. Crazy.
Everybody would want Kendrick on their song. I understand that, but say I was cool with Drake. Give me that option to say yay or nay. My rights manager, Nicole Key, told me from the beginning something's not right.
So hold on. He's trying to say, give me that right to say if you could diss Drake or not with my sample. Is that what he's trying to say? I never even heard nothing like that. That's interesting.
They just dropped the ball and not giving us any type of respect, man. And that's cold to do that to old school artists, man. You know, they came to me. I didn't go to them. I didn't tell them to use my record. They came to me. So to come to me, take my record, make all this money, out on tours, do this and that, and act like we're not a part of it, even left me off the Grammy nomination. How can you do that? You know what I mean? So just no respect at all. And that's how a lot.
Interesting. So he's basically trying to say he mad at y'all diss Drake without his. Yo, bro, don't nobody need your permission to diss Drake. Don't nobody need your permission to diss Drake. You use my sample to diss Drake. Nigga. Listen, man. The only person that dissed Drake on there was Kendrick Lamar. I'm pretty sure all parties agreed to have it done. Future was there, Metro was there. I'm pretty sure all parties agreed to diss Drake. Now, whether or not it's used on your sample, I mean, you didn't like the fact that they dissed Drake. If they paid for the beat, they can do whatever the hell they want with it, correct? I mean, if you got authorization, you gave them authorization to use the sample. If they paid for the sample, how you gonna sue by that? You can sue someone for using your sample to diss someone that you rock with. I never even heard of that. So this isn't even about them paying for the sample. So the sample was cleared. The problem is he said they used his sample to do something that he didn't approve of. So apparently he didn't know that he was giving them the sample and the sample was being used to diss Drake. To be truthful, the sample wasn't used to diss Drake. Kendrick put his own verse on the record and he decided to diss Drake. Future and Metro are not dissing Drake on that record. Metro is just a producer. Metro doesn't know that Kendrick Lamar is jumping on this record to diss Drake. Maybe Future knows, but Metro didn't make the beat with the intention of dissing Drake. Understand? So he says he wants the royalties from it. He can't get the royalties from it if you cleared the sample. Why do he want royalties from it? That doesn't even make sense. So now you mad? This doesn't even make sense, bro. What is he even talking about? Bro, you're upset because they used the sample that was already given to them by you to diss someone that you liked. So this guy's either mook or he's mook. Champ, you gotta be mook. Because why are you going out your way to sue? Are you doing this because Drake did it? So either your social security ain't busting like it's supposed to, or you mook. Because ain't no way you going out your way to try to sue based on the fact that they diss someone that you respect, apparently, or that you have a crush on, apparently. So this guy might be a geezer mook. Yeah, he might be a geezer mook for that matter. Y'all diss Drake. I don't like that. I'm suing. I want all the royalties. Nigga, nobody made the beat or used your sample with the core intention to diss Drake. Kendrick hop on the record. Okay? If that man got paid to use, if that man was paid off and his sample, and he agreed to let them use the sample, he not gonna win this case, bro. You know what I'm saying? Equal says, get off my lawn syndrome has kicked in. It might have, champ. Maybe it did. Maybe it did kick in. Oh, man. He said, yes, he did, man. Sorry, champ, but it was about. No, the album being called We Don't Trust You obviously is about Drake, right? But the song like that is the only person dissing Drake on there is Kendrick Lamar, correct? Future's verses are not about Drake. Yes, the album is called We Don't Trust You and it's dissing Drake. But that particular song, every song that's on that album is not dissing Drake though. The theme of the album is, yeah, we don't trust you, Drake. But every song on that album isn't about Drake. And like that, just so happened to have Kendrick jumping on the record dissing Drake. That's it. Future's verses ain't have nothing to do with Drake. And even if it did, how is he upset if they cleared the sample? If there's no sample clearing issues, why are you mad that they use your beat to diss someone? Specifically Kendrick Lamar. Specifically Kendrick. Because We Don't Trust You doesn't have any diss records towards Drake except for Kendrick's verse on Like That. That's what I'm saying. So what is his problem? What is his issue? I don't understand. If anything, you should take it up with Kendrick Lamar. If you want to sue Kendrick, champ. If you want to sue Kendrick, sue Kendrick. Salute to Tashana in the chat who says, why he wait over a year to sue? That's what I want to know. Did he just hear Like That now? Like, bro, you waited over a year to make this lawsuit all of a sudden. Now that it's back in conversation and it's been over a year since this beef happened, now you talking about, hey, I want to sue, champ. I want to do a lawsuit. I want to sue. What we doing? He cleared the sample, right? Metro Boomin and Future cleared the sample. Why are we even having this discussion in the first place, bro? You want to sue Kendrick? Go right ahead. I don't know if you're going to win. But I've never heard of people coming out of the woodworks to say, hey, you use my sample to diss somebody that I like. You don't get to sue behind that, bro. You just don't. And I'm going to run it back one more time because I know some of y'all just came in. Make sure y'all running up these likes, by the way. Look at this, man.
Everybody would want Kendrick on their song. I understand that. But say I was cool with Drake. Give me that option to say yay or nay. My rights manager, Nicole Key, told me from the beginning something's not right. They just dropped the ball and not giving us any type of respect, man. And that's cold to do that to old school artists, man. You know, they came to me. I didn't go to them.
How are you saying they disrespecting old school artists? Bro, he said, okay, so he's saying, say if I was someone who actually liked Drake and you use my sample to this. This doesn't make sense, man. I don't know. I don't know what his problem is, man. He's saying it's disrespectful for you to diss someone without my permission. He said y'all should have got my permission to diss Drake. Bro, we don't need your permission to diss Drake. We cleared the sample. We cleared the sample, bro. What do you mean we need your permission? You're not respecting me because you didn't give me you didn't ask me for permission if you can diss someone on my beat. Like, bro, shut up. You got paid already. What are you complaining about, bro? The sample got cleared, gang. The sample got cleared. What are you complaining about, bro? Salute to Jacqueline. If they cleared the sample, it ain't none of your goddamn business. Bro, mad that God dissed. I'm suing. You don't have a case, bro. You don't got a case, bro. He making it seem like they ain't cleared the sample, bro. The sample is cleared. What is your problem, bro? I think he ran out of rice pudding. That's what happened. You know what happened, champs? This guy ran out of rice pudding. He ain't got no more rice pudding in his fridge. He's like, God damn, I'm about to sue these bad boys. I'm gonna get these whippersnappers. Oh, I'm telling TMZ on them. I ain't got no more rice pudding. My social security. Trump done turned off my social. I'm gonna get these young whippersnappers. Like, yo, bro. You don't have a case, bro. You don't have a case. Yeah, you might have ran out of rice pudding and all that. All right, listen. Maybe you got an Epsisol or something. I don't know. This is not gonna help your case, champ. Yeah. Listen, if Trump turned off your social security, you better take it up with the government, gang. I don't know what he's trying to do here. I don't understand. I'll be honest. I think this is crazy, man. Run up these likes, man. Smash the like, share the video, man. This is crazy, though. This doesn't make sense. Too little, too late, in my personal opinion. I'm gonna say that, man. And too little, too late, gang. So, some other people wanted to talk about Drake and Kendrick beef. One of those people are Jadakiss and Fat Joe, who just started their podcast today. They got their first episode, and they decided to talk about the Drake and Kendrick beef. Smash the like, share the video. We gonna run it up. We gonna run the content. Come on.
What they like to call it beef in the media world, since we in media.
We in media now.
But you know, thank God nothing happened to anybody physically. Yeah. But how you feel about? Personally, I thought it was about 4 or 5 months ago. I can't believe it's already been a year.
This shit is out of control, man. How's it a year? But what I can tell you is, boy, that Kendrick Lamar gets some spins in LA radio. Nah.
Everybody from LA gets spins on LA.
You never seen. When's the last time you went and put on the radio in LA? I was there last week.
I was there like last week too.
Bro, I never seen nothing like this. Like every single song, they like to turn the TV off. The other one, this, that, the
get a lot of
the scissor, the Luther, the this, that. What?
It's spinning.
It's a fact. Kendrick Lamar gets played 9 out of every 10 songs in LA right now. Not even Snoop Dogg, not even Tupac Shakur, not nobody from LA has dominated the paint. Like this guy, this last year, what they doing in LA, you know, if you from LA, you think there's only one guy on earth, Kendrick Lamar. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. You turn on that radio in LA, if you from LA, you work at Target, okay, Amazon, You delivering some shit. You working at the bakery, panaderia, whatever, East LA homes. You thinking there's one man breathing in hip hop. It's called Kendrick Lamar. I'm keeping it.
A lot of people feel this way. A lot of people feel this way. But to be technical, there is one man breathing in hip hop. You know why? Have you seen Billboard Top 10? There's only one rapper on there named Kendrick. There ain't that many rappers on Billboard Top 10. And if they ever was, they didn't last long up there. The only other rapper who was really on Billboard was Playboy Carti, but that didn't last for more than 2-3 weeks. Now he's not even on Billboard right now. Well, he does have songs with The Weeknd that's still actively on there. Let me not say that. But he's not in Billboard's top 25 at all. It's mostly Kendrick, bro. And it has been Kendrick. Country music, or the country aesthetic, has had a very strong hold on music. The only rapper that is out here putting pain and who's really getting them numbers is Kendrick. Mainly because of the beef, right? But even without the beef, Kendrick has had a lot of Billboard success. But point being is, he has created a certain algorithm for himself. He's garnered a lot of new fans and etc., which has raised his demand in recent times. So because of that, now the only person that's actually getting motion on Billboard is Kendrick Lamar. A lot of rappers ain't even reaching Billboard right now. And if they are, like I said, you dig what I'm saying? It is what it is. But facts are facts at the end of the day, right? I'm just saying. All champ. Somebody said Shabuzi dressing zesty at the Met Gala. Shabuzi's doing a humiliation ritual, man. It's his time to do a humiliation ritual. Shabuzi can't have no more hits unless he do a humiliation ritual. What Shabuzi is doing is pretty much what is kind of required of him if he wants continuous success. So yeah, he doing a humiliation ritual. I seen what you saw. You dig? I seen what you saw. But yeah, to be very, very clear, to be truthful, if you look at the Billboard, it does look like the only living, breathing person in hip hop is Kendrick Lamar. All the other rappers ain't really getting nowhere like that. Now you do have Drake up there, but it's Drake though, right? It's Drake though. You know what I'm saying? But it's still Drake. So Drake is kind of expected to make Billboard anyway because it's Drake. But all the other rappers have a very hard time maintaining a very sufficient spot on Billboard. And that's a fact. You dig? These past 10, 11 months, Billboard, as far as hip hop is concerned, has been struggling a lot. Especially right now. Kendrick is always in a good spot because it's Kendrick. Like I said, this guy just did the most people at a Super Bowl halftime show, the most watched Super Bowl ever when it comes to Super Bowl halftime shows, surpassing Michael Jackson, which is an insane stat line. I ain't gonna lie. He's also doing the first ever hip hop stadium tour that's never been done. He's also gonna have the #1 selling hip hop tour period ever in the history of hip hop because he's doing a stadium tour, because stadiums are much bigger than regular arenas. More facts. It just is what it is, man. It's just something that's going on, man. So because of what he just did, he's kind of forever has a spot being on top of Billboard all the time. It's just what it is, man. Listen, when I'm in the city sometimes, all I hear is Kendrick. Technically speaking, I can go anywhere in any state and hear Kendrick on repeat. It's just a fact. You dig? Just gotta be honest. We're gonna keep it going though. Run up these like, smash the like, share the video. We're gonna keep it going. All chin in.
buck with you.
No, he had a hell of a year.
Jeez.
He had a hell of a career, but the last year, so he
What do you think about beef in the hip hop? Like I done answered this a million times.
It's getting out of hand when it gets. For me, I thought it was always good if you take it all the way back from Wild Style and LL and Kumo D and then all the way up to us and 50, to whatever you want. It's always good as long as it stays on wax. You know what I mean? Now, when it first started, somebody say something about you, you gotta go to the studio, you gotta immediately work on getting one back out there. Boom, now it's, you knock the stick off your shoulders like a fight at the school at 3 o'clock. Now it got, as the technology evolved, it turned into movie skits, animations, retrieving fake information and going to the embassy and getting it got a little wacky for me. Like, I like it to be beats and rhymes and keep it like that. Once it got out of my pay grade, I'm not really, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of disinterest to me because it's turning political now. Supposed to be
it is.
Beats and rhymes, mics, DJs.
There's even lawsuits behind rap diss records now. I never saw that.
That's over my head. I don't really understand when it gets, you know.
Maybe I don't know.
I just want to see.
Let's just say.
I just want to see rhymes and songs and hip hop shit. Once it gets, once it goes to the White House and all that, Supreme Court and things like that, and you know what I mean, and
to the Congress Library and all that.
You know what I mean?
Who got nominated?
My fault, gang. I was muted. My bad. Hold up. Yeah, I was saying Jadakiss sounds like a hoop the engine. All right. I don't know what's good with his voice. It sounds crazy though. Okay. Sounds insane. I don't know what happened to the man's voice, but it sounds bad. That's definitely a lot of blunts and whatnot. But yeah, he sounds crazy. Like, that's a bad engine, champ. That's a very bad engine, indeed. I don't know. I don't know how much you gotta smoke to sound like that, but it sounds horrific. I'll be honest. But yeah, this podcast is looking like a geezer podcast. This is very geezer like. You heard SOB the Don King, $5 in town taxes says, did the big homie Jadakiss forget that we ain't rocking with Joe? I know they have a positive history, but still, yeah, we ain't rocking with him. I'm not rocking with him, and you know I'm not, and for multiple reasons. You dig? Yeah, we not rocking with him whatsoever. So, hey, listen, maybe he's not tapped into what's going on. I don't know how long that podcast is gonna last, but it's not in high demand. I'm gonna say that. It's not in high demand whatsoever. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't even think they know what's going on, to be honest. Like, I don't think they really understand what's happening. You dig? But yeah. Guess who else spoke on the Drake and Kendrick beef? Rick Ross. Yeah. Ricky Rose, the same guy who made Champagne Moments dissing Drake. Rose had something to say too. Oh yeah, on Bootleg Kev podcast. That's crazy, right? Look at this, champs.
Do you feel like for you the sport of the rap shit has finally kind of been, because you obviously jumped into the arena with the Kendrick Drake shit that happened. Do you feel like the sport has been like reignited with what has been going on the last year or so?
I'm not just gonna say, reignited, but I felt like, that was something that was necessary. It was something that, the streets needed, the culture needed. Let's clarify this shit. Who gonna really step up to the forefront?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But anything other than that, it's not too dramatic to me, you know. Do some niggas make it more than what it is they could, you know.
I just felt like it was very like you said, it was kind of like a palate cleanse where it was like, oh, we got to really kind of dissect what people are saying in their lyrics real quick.
Yeah. Let's do that. Fuck all the metaphors. No, let's just get down to business and see what's really happening out here.
Yeah, 100%. Could you? I'd heard
Ross and Drake beef was about a woman named Lotto. The only reason that Rick Ross hopped into the mix is because, again, Rick Ross and Drake was both messing with Lotto at pretty much low-key the same time, or the same time span for that matter. That's the main reason that Ross hopped in for the smoke. Clearly, Lotto chose the side. And it's not Ross's side, which is pretty obvious because not only did Drake mess with Lotto, but he messed with Lotto's younger sister as well. Yeah, Lotto got a younger sister who used to be with John Morant once upon a time, an NBA player, John Morant. And Drake is such a weirdo that he would low-key throw shots at John Morant because he was messing with Lotto's younger sister, who he also messed with, which is crazy. And Lotto's not from Atlanta, by the way. She's not from Atlanta, champ. I'm gonna keep it as that. She is not from Atlanta, champ. False information. She's from close to Atlanta, but she's not from Atlanta though. No. You dig? Lotto's younger sister is a grown woman, by the way. Yeah. Just so we're clear, her sister is a grown woman. But let's continue.
Now you can stop me if I'm wrong. What was the root cause of the falling out with Drake? Was it someone had told me it was because of the way he had treated French on a record? Is that?
I mean, I spoke on that on the record I released. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all got classics together?
Bro, you ain't even get into details of why y'all was beefing. I just told y'all why. I just told y'all why they had smoke. Rose said, F that. Hey, Rose, you ain't tell him why. Oh, you can't tell him why, champ. You know why, champ. You know exactly why y'all got wrecked. Come on, Rose. You ain't even telling them what happened. You know why you got smoke with Drake. It's over some buns. Just say that, champ. It's over some buns. You fell in love with a Treesh, champ. The same Treesh who's with 21 Savage. Messing around with Drake. I don't know whoever else Lotto was messing around with. But you fell in love with the vibes of a Treesh champ who just so happens to be a rapper. By the way, you dig? Yeah, champ.
If it's real niggas, if real niggas gonna stay real, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Was it something really deep? Nah, fuck that though. But if you pussy, you pussy. If it's real, it's real. And that's what it is.
Could that ever be something you could ever see, like you guys talking it out? And you guys have so many classics together, such a long history together.
You never know. If a nigga send me a bottle of Luke Belaire, especially the white one, you know? You
the white
know.
Bottle, yeah.
Yeah,
the white bottle
go for any of these young niggas out here.
Especially if it's a Magnum.
Send me a white Belaire bottle and I'll take a picture with you because that white Belaire bottle is the, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, can you...
Why they gotta send you a white Bel-Air bottle? Why the bottle gotta be white Bel-Air? Nigga, nobody even drinks Bel-Air. Do y'all drink Bel-Air? Listen, for all of you drinking degenerates out there, for all of you alcoholics, do y'all drink Bel-Air? I don't drink like that, I'll be honest. I don't drink too much alcohol, gang. Once in a blue moon, I don't drink like that, champs. How many of y'all drinkers out there drinking Bel-Air? All right, how many of you alcoholics, champ? Which wino in here is sipping Bel-Air? Any hands, champ? Anyone? No. Oh, I'm just asking, gang. I don't know what y'all drink. Okay. Hold up. Wait. Shorty Nick says $20 at Walgreens. Oh. Hey, listen, getting alcohol from Walgreens is nasty work, and you know that, champ. Drinking alcohol from Walgreens is insane. Let's not forget, all right? Danglin says, ain't nobody sipping that. Hey, listen, I never had it, and I don't have any intentions on drinking it. Okay, everybody saying they don't drink Bel Air. Uh-oh. Jay Ray says Bel Air tastes like beer and armpits. Oh, champ. So it's spicy too? Armpits is spicy, gang. You saying Bel Air tastes like sweat, spices, and beer together. It's a concoction. It's a concoction of Modelo, of armpit flavored Modelo, man. It's basically what you telling me. Spicy edition, though. Very spicy Modelo armpit is what you telling me that this is. Okay, cool. If that's what it is, champ, I don't know. I never had it. Sweaty beer. Got it. Understood. If you buying alcohol from Walgreens, you out of pocket. Remember that, champ. But let's continue.
Breakdown, because you know it's so crazy. We talked about that Power Circle record. You've always had such a great ear. One of the greatest ears ever. When it comes to beats,
see when I put Kendrick on that record,
yes,
back then,
you put Kendrick on Power Circle alongside the whole label. Sally,
I'm down.
Gunplay.
I'm down in Miami, all the way on the other side of the map. But it's just certain things I could watch. It's certain things that I understand. And when it come to music, I believe I got a vision for it. That's it. I've been watching and studying that shit since I was in the first grade. You know what I mean? So it's certain things that I can see. You know what I mean?
So you just kind of knew with the Kendrick thing, because at that time he was bubbling, but I felt like
he was a new. You know, he
at
was
that time
nigga.
you were like MMG's the hottest fish grease,
and I was like, I understand who this young nigga is right here. Come get on this record. Let's all rap on this record. And it's not about now. It wasn't that he was huge. It was for the sport.
Yep. Yeah, and
it was for the sport.
I'd like to give a shout out to Gunplay for having one of the greatest verses of all time.
Gunplay always
Cartoons and Cereal.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
No, Cartoons and Cereal's different. Oh my god, Cartoons and Cereal's fucking different.
Gunplay got a lot of.
He got off on Kendrick on that.
What did he say? It's all I can see now. I will not be Nina.
Yeah, he went in on that.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Gunplay. How's Gunplay doing, dog? Most underrated rappers of all time.
No, he not. Niggas know what time it is.
No, I know, but I'm talking about when it comes to the big talks, he's underrated.
Underrated? How? I never knew Gunplay to be no insane rapper, bro. Do y'all remember Gunplay? I don't remember all that, champ. Sorry. Gunplay, underrated rapper? Is he? Is he? I don't know about that. When has he been underrated? He's been underrated? He's not even overrated. Underrated? I don't know. I don't know. He says Gunplay is better than O'Malley. Everybody's better than O'Malley. Everybody is better than. Listen, everybody in the world is better than O'Malley. Let's be real, okay? That's just a fact. Turn up these lights, gang. Come on.
Hey, bro.
Niggas know what time it is with Gunplay.
Bible on a dash.
Yeah. My niggas still getting this shit together.
Yeah.
They got a cuss for so.
That Triple C's album was hard too. Very slept on. When it comes to your ear though, Ross, like there was a few artists that almost came to MMG. A couple of West Coast guys, Dom. I know you were talking with Nip potentially. And then I know the Wiz thing was kicked around because I remember when he got on the Super High remix.
Right.
I remember I was stoked because I was like, "Is Wiz about to be on MMG? What is going on? Like, how close specifically was the Nip thing from like? I know you know he obviously gave you a lot of love. He said he fucks with Rick Ross because he's teaching Wealth, and I know you guys have such a long history. But how close was that actually to becoming a thing?
And you know what? This is something I just want to say because I be seeing niggas on podcasts speaking on such old shit, trying to recant, and I don't be knowing how to feel about it. What I want to say is all the names you said, these niggas to me were already icons. The same way I say Nino Breezer, because I already know, I have a feeling. You understand? So niggas was already gonna shine. I was just able and in a position to make music with them at such an early stage.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Nipsey was another nigga that I already felt was an icon. In my mind, he was already huge.
And it's not like you were
to a lot of other niggas, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. And I remember us just talking about, you know, both our ideas.
Right.
I'm a nigga that's inspired by you sharing your ideas. So anytime I sat down with any of these niggas, it was really, they had their ideas already. I had ideas. We just sharing ideas. We just going back and forth. Let's exchange numbers. Nigga, let's stay in touch. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. Shout out to Dom Kennedy, R.I.P., the Nip. The marathon still continue, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Wiz, I flew him. I flew Currency down. I told them niggas really just come down.
Currency was another one, yeah.
Yeah, I flew them down. And both of them niggas was already shining.
Oh, and they were obviously killing the mixtape game at that time.
I just said, come down here, let's smoke some good weed. I got a good weed plug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They flew down, nigga, we jumped in the Benz and we just went, smoked weed, got tattoos, shit like that. Nigga just ate good, real nigga shit.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because I feel like you're one of the only artists who has a label, who had a label, who did it the right way, where your approach was always like, I want people to be bigger than me. Like,
I would love it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like a lot of artists, they'll have their homies or they'll sign artists, but they don't ever want, if they're super active, they don't ever want like their artists to overshine what they're doing, if that makes sense. But I feel like yourself, and then I feel like you kind of laid the groundwork for a guy like Gotti to have CMG, because Gotti's kind of taken that same model and just ran with it.
Facts.
So, yeah, no, it's been dope to see, man. Are you working on new music, Ross? Like for yourself?
I am. All you niggas get ready, Ricky Rose.
Because we haven't had a Ross album in a minute. Obviously, you and Meek dropped, but
right. And for me, it's all about the motivation. And one,
I ain't gonna lie, I like Meek Mill's new music because he has been wilding on the new records that I've seen. Rick Ross, I don't know. I haven't heard. Actually, the last thing I heard from Ross was that song he did with Wayne and Big Sean on that DJ Premier beat. That was hard, but it was only hard because it was Wayne was on it. I mean, Ross kind of skated on there too, but Wayne annihilated that beat. Thankfully, Big Sean didn't rap on it, and I was so grateful because we don't want to hear Big Sean rap. Big Sean is terrible, nigga. Big Sean's awful. Big Sean's an underwhelming rapper. We don't want to hear Big Sean, bro. So thankfully, he was just on the hook, man. They said, yeah, let Rick Ross rap, let Wayne rap. Big Sean, you stay on the hook. We don't need you to rap. The last thing we want to hear is Big Sean. But no, Meek Mill's new stuff has been pretty fire. As far as Ross, I don't know. Gang. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens in the future. You dig? But yeah, keep Big Sean off them verses, champ. Let's continue.
Once again, it's the challenge. Nino Breeze being here, spitting that shit, me hearing hard shit. It gave a nigga that real inspiration. Other than that, I'ma just get fly every day and watch you niggas do y'all thing. But when I'm inspired, nigga, yeah, so get ready. I'm finna, you know what I mean, do what I do.
Are you still with Def Jam?
Of course not.
You had left Def Jam a while ago. You ended up messing with Gamma, right?
Yeah. Shout out to the team over at Gamma.
Larry, shout out to Larry, yeah.
But the Empire Double MG, we doing it all the way from the bottom to the top.
That's what's up. Nino, can you tell me, like, the first time you are in the studio with this guy, what is that experience like? Because I can only, like, I just hear, like, the way this guy, he's a savant. You know what I'm saying? He's a goat. So I can only imagine, like, being in the lab with him. Had to be, were you nervous? Was it a vibe?
Nigga say, were you nervous?
No, it's just a natural vibe. Like, me and Dog was all
and in a position.
We done with this game. Apparently, Drake is dropping a new album, rumored to be called Iceman and all that. I don't know why, but your boy Axe spoke upon the nonsense, right? And unfortunately, we're gonna have to watch the Glaze Fest. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch that, champ. I apologize in advance, but here we go.
So Drake had reposted this clip of Smiley, which is his artist that's signed to OVO, and Smiley was kind of talking about how locked in Drake is, and check this out.
I'm telling you, I see them the other day. We're at a party, and he was in the other room by himself eating pasta with, you know, the wired headphones, the old headphones? Billionaire having the wired headphones, so he had the wired headphones eating pasta, right?
OVO Smiley might be the worst rapper in the world right now. I ain't gonna hold you, man. OVO Smiley might be the worst, right? He sounds like a real Danish Canadian. By the way, a real Danish Canadian. I seen Drake eating pasta. Pasta. Like, hey yo, what's good with that Toronto accent? No offense to Toronto, but all offense to Toronto. What the hell are niggas talking about? I seen Drake eating pasta. Nigga, hey man.
In music. Well, we have a whole fucking party going on, so like he's on a different mode right now. So even at the No Kill video shoot, while he was done in the breaks, he had a bunch of producers and he was just recording. So like he's in that crazy mode right now. So you see his captions that the man's talking and shit because he's in that mode right now. Brother, I'm telling you, I see them the other
Now,
Nah, Gang look like Raichu, nigga. Gang look like Raichu from Pokemon, nigga. Facts. Yeah, this nigga look like a Guyanese Raichu, nigga. Word too. Yeah, champ, you look like Raichu, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, champ. Yeah, you look like a spicy rabbit, nigga. Facts. Yeah, that nigga OVO Smiley look crazy. You heard? You look like Raichu and you look like a curry flavored rabbit, nigga. You look like curry rabbit. Word. Facts. Put up these lights, gang. All champ.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and even y'all gonna say I'm biased, and probably I am. Shit. Every conversation I've had with Drake is basically say, "Yo, act." You know, when he said to me, "My time to talk soon come," or is like, "Yo, my talk soon come." That's the direct quote. Yo, he's gonna be popping his shit about everything. It's not necessarily just about him. He's gonna be popping his shit about niggas who switched up, bitch ass hoes, and people who was hoping he was out of here. And obviously he has one of the contenders for album of the year with some sexy songs for you. But this next solo album, which is gonna be a hip hop album. And when I mean hip hop album, I don't mean like he's just rapping everything, but it's gonna be. If you ask me, I'm expecting a Scorpion type album. I love when artists back to the wall.
Okay, he says Drake back to the wall. We're gonna get a Scorpion type album. Scorpion sucked. It wasn't a good album. Scorpion A and B, disc A and disc B, certified dog water. Disgusting. It wasn't good, bro. It wasn't good. OVO Smiley. I said OVO Smiley. Scorpion A and B were both terrible, not good. And I tried to listen to it. I did. I think the worst thing that made it even worse was the Michael Jackson feature, because it was an AI. Like, he had a posthumous Michael Jackson feature on the album, and it was terrible, bro. It wasn't good. He had 1 or 4 songs that were like good singles, and then that was it, bro. Out of a 2-disc LP, there shouldn't be that many terrible songs. I'm just saying. But this is why Drake is a singles guy and not an album guy. Much like his daddy, Lil Wayne. Ain't he crazy? Wayne's albums suck. But he's good at mixtapes. Drake's albums suck, but he's good at singles. So much like his mentor, Lil Wayne, he can't produce a good album. Very ironic, like father, like son, right? Minus the Geppetto stuff, because Wayne is not a Geppetto. But just like Wayne, terrible albums. Albums are complete trash. Wayne's best album is the Carter 2. Everything else sucks. Not good. SOV the Dog King with $2 in town taxes says, I'll be saying Young Money Drake was peak Drake. Yeah, you can say that. That's not bad. That's not a bad take, champ. I'll live with that. That's cool. You dig? I could live with that. That's nothing wrong with that. For sure. Why not? The boy, oh boy. Yeah, man. It's getting crazy. Run up these likes, man. Smash the like, share the video.
They usually produce the best results because they know they can't slack. They can't mail it in. This might be the thing that completely ends them, or is going to make people start forgiving them, or might make people even love them more. So I like when Drake is in this mode. By the way, I like when mad artists are in this mode. As much as me and Meek might not be the best of friends, when Drake was like killing his ass, if y'all listen to any of them freestyles when he dropped in, bro, he was cutting up. A lot of people ain't want to hear, but he was cutting up. He was rapping like his life depended on it. Like, it looked like he was trying to rap his way out of a cell. Like, I mean, he was dropping them 4-for-4s at that time. That's where one of my favorite songs with Meek, Pray For Him, came from. That nigga was doing freestyles. He did some freestyles to like the Panda freestyle and other shit. Like, yo, and even some shit for Future and even Summer 16 freestyle. Yo, Meek was going crazy. Sometimes you got to put an artist, especially a veteran artist, back against the wall. How do you put them back against the wall when they're rich as fuck? Well, it's clear right now Drake's legacy is threatened. And it's not threatened because he's not, in a sense of, we all know he's the greatest hip-hop artist, or not hip-hop, sorry, that's Kanye, the greatest rapper of all time. But if...
We all know he's the greatest rapper of all time, or you just know that? What makes him the greatest rapper when he can't make a great album? I'm tired of people saying these things. Stop saying niggas is the greatest of anything when they albums suck. Stop saying that. If your album can't compete with the Illmatic, any Tupac albums, if your album can't compete with those classic albums, there's absolutely no point in you ever saying that this person's the greatest rapper ever. None of his albums can compete with Illmatic. None of his albums can compete with Ready to Die. None of his albums, not even Jay-Z's first album, Reasonable Doubt. Drake don't even got an album that's better than that. He don't got an album better than Jay-Z's first album. Facts. He don't. He just doesn't. You don't. You don't got an album better than Reasonable Doubt. You don't got an album better than a Project Pat album. You don't got an album that's better than Project Pat. Got two major classic albums. Drake don't got nothing better than that. So how Drake the best rapper ever? That don't make sense. I don't agree, nigga. I could name multiple rappers who have a better album catalog than Drake. Sorry, not sorry. You just don't got it, bro. You feel me? There's too many people who have better albums than you. You know what I'm saying? So what we talking about, bro? That's right, we're not talking about anything. And he don't got an album better than Dirty Sprite 2. That's one of Future's greatest albums, Dirty Sprite 2. He don't got one album better than that. Future got a few albums that's better than any Drake album. That's a fact. There's too many people who have better albums than you for him to be listed as the greatest rapper ever. Like I said before, Drake is a singles guy. Don't let the singles blind you from the fact that this nigga don't got no albums that's worth repeating. Okay? I'm just saying. Don't let them singles make you blind to the fact that this man does not have any albums that you can play from front to back and not be bored and not want to change to a different album. Okay? I'm just saying. We gotta be honest, man. We just gotta be honest. Smash a like, share the video. We're gonna keep it going.
Like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want it to go down in his legacy that his reign at the top or his dominance stopped when people thought Kendrick might have edged him out in a battle. No. So he's trying to drop some shit to let niggas know, like, bruv, I got another 10 if I want to. Here's a parallel with him and LeBron. And by the way, you could check out how he's betting. He bet against LeBron. He think LeBron is finished. He think he got 10 more. Now, this is my words, not his. Shit. He's determined to prove to people that, yo, not only is he the greatest rapper, but he won't ever be pushed out the game until he voluntarily leaves. And he knows very well right now, people want to hear what he got to say. Is he going to have that chip on his shoulder? How is he going to pop shit? Is he going to really get everybody back on his side? Is he going to make all them hits that he's always done? Is he going to be, you know, like, I'm gonna be honest.
Anybody checking for Drake, worry about what Drake got to say. Nigga, we already heard him. We want to hear what he got to say. No, we don't. Who's telling y'all this? Yo, listen. Nokia is the only hit Drake dropped in the last year, right? Nokia is the only song. That's cool, man. That's cool. It wasn't for everybody, but it's a hit. That's cool, bro. It was a hit. We had all the other hits, though. If he makes this next album and he don't got no hits on there, I guess we could say he's finished for sure. If he could drop 10 more Nokias, cool. That doesn't make him the best rapper ever, though. Because like I said, it's a difference between you making a lot of singles that pop and making albums that weren't good front to back. Because in order for you to have a great album catalog, you gotta have something that's playable from front to back, no skips, nothing. Full of classics. Every song is not gonna be perfect, okay? But the fact of the matter is that overall, the album was hitting. Period. That's all that matters. The whole album was hitting. That's what you're gunning to. You're aiming for the whole album to be fired, bro. SOE the Dog King with $2 taxes says Drake needed an entire year just to get to number 7, shaking my head. Well, he was at number 3 before, so that's not the worst thing in the world. It is what it is, though. Point is, can he make 10 more Nokias? Is the question. That's what I'm asking. If he can't, then we have a problem. Then this whole conversation of greatest rapper ever is pretty much out the window. It's not worth questioning. It's not worth having a conversation about, period. You dig? I'm just saying.
I think Kendrick took the number 1 spot for a year. Not like us dropped. It's about the anniversary for the last year, hip-hop wise. I don't think artist wise, because again, Kendrick don't do R&B. Kendrick don't do R&B. Kendrick's not, I mean, technically he is pop, but Drake has a couple more facets. But within hip hop,
what you mean Kendrick don't do R&B, nigga? Loyalty with Rihanna? This is yo. Listen, we gotta get more hip hop. We gotta get more hip hop people on these platforms, man. We gotta stop this madness. Niggas just be talking and saying stuff. Kendrick is incredibly versatile. We didn't just hear Backdoor with on Cardi album. We ain't just hear Backdoor on Cardi album. So we don't have these R&B infused rap records like Loyalty with Rihanna, which clearly was R&B, which clearly involved Kendrick Lamar. And this was ages ago. So now Kendrick ain't with no R&B. So Luther ain't R&B neither? Luther's number 1 in the country. Kendrick don't do R&B. Oh boy. Niggas just gonna keep talking, huh? Niggas just gonna be saying stuff. Well, we clearly see this guy doing the versatile records. At some point, it gotta stop. At some point, you gotta get that chapstick colored Negroes beat out your mouth. That's what it is. Yeah. Get his Canadian push pop from your tonsils, nigga. How about that? Yeah. Yeah. Get his push pop from out of your neck. You should try that. Yeah. Try that, champ. Oh, champ. Let's continue.
There's only 2 years Kendrick ever overtook Drake, and I'm a Drake fan, but I'll be honest. 2017, I think he passed Drake hip hop, and I think he passed Drake in 2024 to 2025. That's it. So say 2024 and 2017. Keep in mind, Kendrick been out since like 2011. Every year it's been Drake. 2017, Kendrick. Drake, and then 2024, Kendrick. Hey.
Yeah, that's cap. Hey, look, gang, For All the Dogs was trash. For All the Dogs was trash, bro. For All the Dogs was cheeks. Stop it. Cut it out, man. It wasn't even a good album. Kendrick's mainstream success was in 2011, yes. When Kendrick had the High Power video out, that's when he was officially mainstream. Officially. But he was with Dr. Dre and all that. 2011 is Kendrick's mainstream beginnings. Yes. Yes. 2011 is Kendrick's mainstream beginnings for sure, yes. That's when his major projects started dropping. But to say that, hey, Drake had every single year that Doc wasn't like on top of stuff is a lot too. There were people who had greater success than Drake sometimes. Everything don't revolve around Drake. When Future had hip hop in a chokehold when Dirty Sprite 2 came out. And what came out before that? He had another project that came out before Dirty Sprite 2 even dropped. Nigga, Drake was not on top of the game at that point. Future had everything lit. In fact, one of the Dirty Sprite 2, when Dirty Sprite 2 came out, he was on tour. They had to shut down the show because there was so many people that were trying to get into the venue to see Future. They had to shut down the show. The show couldn't happen because there was too many people trying to get into the goddamn venue, nigga. When DS2 came out, Future had hip hop on lockdown, bro. He had March Madness out. He had Real Sisters out. He had P Code out. He had all these records out in full-blown rotation. This is why Future is the Jay-Z of Atlanta, nigga. It's for a reason. Future is the Jay-Z of Atlanta, nigga. It used to be T.I. It was T.I. at first, saying he was king of the South and all that. But Future came around, champ. Future had an insane run. People just gonna act like Future didn't exist. Okay. Pretend Future didn't exist and that it was just Drake running everything. Yeah, let's do that. And let's not forget Jay-Z and Kanye's Watch the Throne. Like, let's act like Watch the Throne didn't come out and stuff. Let's act like Kanye didn't have that Dog Twisted Fantasy come out. Drake was running stuff when Dog Twisted Fantasy came out, wasn't he? He was running stuff. He didn't even get a Grammy, but he was running stuff. And I don't really want to give Kanye no kudos right now, but I have to because we got to make it make sense. Ye got way more Grammys than Drake do. And so do Jay-Z. We just got to be honest. And Ye wrote some of Drake's best songs. Some of Drake's big records is written by and created by Kanye. So what are we talking about? This is why the nonsense gotta stop. Nigga, Drake was not running hip-hop every single year that Kendrick wasn't. That's not true. We can go back down memory lane and we can see, oh, well, this person had way more traffic than Drake did at this time. There's quite a few artists who had a lot of motion outside of Drake. What about the Fetty Wap era? We could go on and on, man. Smash the like, share the video, man. We're gonna keep it going.
Kendrick ain't never had 2 years where he was running shit. This is where Drake gotta go, you gotta put your big boy pants on. You gonna let Kendrick really pop that shit, think he that nigga? Cause yeah, he got his shit off for 1 year, but shit, in 2 years, is he gonna still be performing not like us, you're gonna be performing new songs. So Drake has the opportunity to wrestle back the throne. And even if that looks bad on his legacy where people are like, well, we'll still give that Kendrick beat you in a battle, fuck it. But who's going to be the most successful artist? Who's going to have the culture in the palm of their hands? Who's going to be the person who's dictating the sound, the tempo, what people are listening to?
NBA YoungBoy just dropped. NBA YoungBoy, I believe, is #1 on YouTube Music right now. Didn't you forget about NBA YoungBoy? We did. Yeah, YoungBoy Youngboy was like the #1 artist in the world for like a good year plus. Salute to Shorty Nick. Nigga, YB still lit. YB just did the first day out. Took over YouTube Music in no time. Oddly enough, NBA Youngboy doesn't go crazy on Billboard for some strange reason. However, when it comes to streaming services, NBA Youngboy always ends up being the #1 artist in the world for some strange reason. Who knows? Imagine a Youngboy and Kendrick collab. It probably will never happen, but then again, it could happen. Listen, it could happen too. But are people gonna say that Kendrick is a degenerate for making a song with NBA Youngboy is the question. Are people gonna call YB? I mean, are people gonna call Kendrick a degenerate and turn their backs on Kendrick for doing a song with YB? Because truthfully, if you think him doing a song with Cardi is terrible, doing a song with YB is even worse. I'm just saying. But let's continue.
Song of the summer, all that type of shit. I think that's where Drake has a chip on his shoulder. Now, here's the thing, though. I will say too. I don't believe Drake's next album is gonna be like Kendrick, like whatever. I think he got a lot bigger fish to fry. I think he has relationships to address. I think he has people who he felt turned on him, whether it's the LeBrons of this world or other people who he felt like he was kind of cool with. But he realized that he had a lot of fake relationships. At the very moment they thought it was done, he was kicking his back in. I don't think he wants to engage again with Kendrick. Not because he's scared or nothing like that. It's just like he's seen. That's written. It's already written how people are going to view that. Kendrick could, call him a PDF, and people are like, this is crazy, or this is hot. And he say one thing about Kendrick, so we don't have to litigate that again. But I don't think his new album is going to be mostly about Kendrick. I think it's going to be about the sentiment of what people do to you when they feel you're done. And I think that's where he'll be able to get the most amount of support, because everybody has been counted out and watched people switch on them and watch people just expected them to fail. And if you've ever been triumphant in that instance, you want to be able to pop your shit. So I don't think, for anybody who think his solo album is going to be like, oh, there's another shot at Kendrick. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Now, will there be little shots? Yeah. Just like how GNX had a bunch of shots at Drake too. But I don't think the whole GNX album was the fuck Drake album. I think,
Listen, GNX was dissing Drake in some parts, but a lot of the shots were at Birdman and other people too, because remember, Nicki Minaj got really upset when the news was announced that Kendrick was going to be at the Super Bowl, right? Then you had other New Orleans artists, like Cash Money artists, who were also upset that Kendrick was at the Super Bowl. And then you had Birdman and them putting the battery in Wayne's back, all right, trying to say, hey, I should be the one doing the Super Bowl and all this nonsense because it's in New Orleans. When the Super Bowl has never been about the performances being in the cities of the performer, because that's never was the business plan. The business plan for the Super Bowl was to get whoever was the most prominent artist or most sought after artist to be at the Super Bowl performing. They wanted to bring in those numbers for the halftime show. Bringing Wayne on a New Orleans Super Bowl halftime show would be a waste of time because he can't perform. He's in no type of condition to perform. And Kendrick Lamar is currently the biggest hip hop artist out right now, so only would make sense, right? So GNX did not only diss Drake, there was so many other people being dissed in that song. I mean, albums specifically. Kendrick made it very well known that he was coming to New Orleans. He also put the GNX in the album cover because the GNX was the car that Birdman had that got shot up by a rapper that Birdman didn't pay. Facts. And his name is Killer Stone, by the way. There's a rapper named Killer Stone. And Killer Stone didn't get paid by Birdman. And the GNX that got shot up was Birdman's GNX. That's why Kendrick came on the cover with a GNX. That's why Kendrick came on the cover in black and white. And that's why Kendrick came on that album on Gang Timing. because he was letting it be known, yes, I'm coming to New Orleans, and y'all not gonna do nothing about it. That's mainly what GNX was about. If you really understand the symbolism and you don't go to weird Reddit posts like Dark Kenny with a bunch of nerds who don't know nothing because they don't know music, they don't know the culture. There's a bunch of dweebs and nerds who pee on themselves because they're that obsessed with fake stuff. When you understand it, hey, I know what that GNX really symbolizes and all that, then you know what's going on. Yes, there was a symbology for XXXTentacion, of course. He was cool with X, but everything wasn't about X. You dig? Just saying. Smash the like, share the video. Who said leave us out of this? Listen, if you think I'm talking to you, I am. How about that? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for those of y'all who don't shower for 3 days, I'm talking to you. Oh, yeah, and the mayor's talking to you too, champ. I want you to know I'm talking. Yeah, I don't give a damn, champ. Hey, this is the channel that don't care. The mayor don't give a damn. Don't care. I'm built for war. I'm built for nonsense. That's why I'm still here. These other niggas not going to be here next year. I'll be here. Let's continue.
He put some moments on it that was fuck Drake, but it's Gen X. I think the same with Drake. You can have some moments that kind of gets at Kendrick, but the majority, I think, is going to be the thematic focus is going to be, yo, these people switched up on me. They counted me out. And, you know, same type of mindset, no friends in the industry, all that type of stuff. We'll see that kind of come in song format, if you ask me. Okay?
So, yeah, man, that's that, man. Look.
I'm talking about in the Academy HQ.
Okay. That's that. Listen. If Drake could make 10 more Nokias, it's cool. I feel like if Drake could make 10 more Nokias and it could reach Billboard on a high level, that's what's up, man. That's cool. That's good for him. I understand that this is Drake. I understand that Drake has longevity success in the industry, even though his albums suck. Just got to be honest about the situation, man. And for those of y'all who can't admit that it's still Drake, you a weirdo, man. Look, you might hate Drake, whatever the case may be, but you have to admit that this nigga has definitely had some strong arming in the industry for quite some time. Whether you hate him or not, all right? I don't like Drake that much, but I can honestly and openly admit to things that are true because I'm not a glazer. And the moment you can't admit when things is facts is when we know for sure that you smell like urine and you glaze all day. That's what we know for sure. Yeah, we know that you use your own urine for cologne or perfume or what have you, and that you just can't admit to facts because somebody's frank is stuck in your tonsils. That's what we can openly admit to, because that's just the truth. Whether you like it or not, right? Whether you use a textbook for a pillow or not, this is just what it is, gang. And if you don't like it, I don't give a damn. By the way, run up these likes, smash the like button, share the video, let me know what you think in the comment section, gang. We're gonna have more content too. By the way, the mayor should be back more active and doing more live streams, okay? Run up these likes, smash the like button, share the video. But special announcement, are you ready? It's the mayor. The one and only real New York mayor, F. Eric Adams. You rocking with the town favorite Showface News. It's Big Gotham. And you already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you just share the video. Go to showfacenews.com and cop the merch. I'm up out of here, gang. Salute.